What is going on? Another day with my practice video. Hopefully one of these videos go up one of these days. I just been practicing, shy to post, I guess. We'll see. Those days are coming to an end. I got a lot of stuff going on, man, to tell you guys. I just quit my job. It was a brand new job too. It's a brand new job. They got an ad up. I found it on Craigslist looking for a delivery route salesman. Went to the interview, got the job. There was like two other guys there at the interview. You know, they were asking some questions. Part of my little scab right there. I was asking some questions or whatnot. Interview questions, typical stuff. Oh, what's your experience in sales? You ever did delivery driving? Blah, blah, blah. They made everything look super legitimate. I went back there, got in a van, after some brief training, and got on the road, right? And was selling electronics, speakers, what do they call it? Projectors, and the screens for them, sound bars, electronics. Brands I never heard of, but like, you don't know every brand that exists that makes speakers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a car guy, so, I know the, Harman Kardons, the Sonys, the Bose, you know what I'm saying? The speakers that you would hear of, the common speakers, I'm sure I haven't bought a set of subs in a long time, so I'm sure there's whoever the new kicker is or whatever, right? But I've never heard of these guys. The name of the speakers were, I'm not even going to say it because after doing some due diligence, it turns out this is a common scam, and like these guys package and make their own boxes and do all of that stuff. But it was a fucking scam, y'all. I was out there accidentally scamming people for 3 days, man. I'm sorry for the people I got. I did not know legally, technically, the job is illegal. This is how they're able to put up job ads, and hire. They have a warehouse. They have multiple company trucks, most of them in pretty decent condition. Yeah, dude. So, we drove around first day. The guy I was with and training me or whatever, he sold 2 of them. I sold 1, 2, speaker 6-piece, full surround, home theaters, right? You want a home theater, right? That's what, these guys are. And of course, first day I ain't stupid. I know something ain't right, but what they were telling us was, they buy all these speakers wholesale, tons of them by the boatload, wholesale. And then they just give them out. They sell them for low deals for cheap prices and such and so forth, right? So anyway, so I go out there again. The guy sells 1, 2. I sell 1 first day. Second day I come back. I sell another one. Third day I come back. And every day you get partnered up with somebody else, right? So this third day, which was actually a Monday, I come back, boom, and I sell another one, right? So I'm fired up. I'm off training. I've been selling these speakers. I'm a salesman by, craft and nature. After I got out of the military, I started my own photography, videography business. If you're in business, then you have to know sales. You have to understand at least basic sales, because whether you have a product or a service, you got to understand how to get people to give you money for said product or service, right? So one of the guys, after I sold it, all right, so boom, right? I sold 1. We're on day number 3. I just sold 1, and I'm in a car with one of the guys, and I gave my number to the last guy that I sold to. He was a black guy. He was like, we called him Unc. And I'm proud of I've never sold anything to be skeptical of, so I'm super proud. I'm like, yeah, take my number down if you need help installing such and so forth. Like, obviously he wasn't there with me when I made that. So when I'm in the car with him in the passenger seat, my phone rings. It's my customer calling me, and he's like, yo, like, like some things missing out of the box, I think, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, we'll come fix whatever the problem is, and we'll get it working for you, such and so forth. But then he starts to say, yeah, and some of my boys, they want some projectors too. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me get out of Fort Myers, wherever the fuck I was at. Like, let me get out of, I was in I was in Port Lucie at the time, St. Port Lucie at the time. I'm like, let me get out of here, and I got you, blah, 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 blah. I hang up the phone. Brody beside me driving, he's like, was that somebody that you sold to? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, fucking block that number right now. I'm like, why would I? There's a customer who wants more products. Like, what do you? I'm playing a little dumb, y'all. I'm putting two and two together, but I ain't got enough flags to say that, throw the fucking flag on the play, right? So I'm like, but every job that I've ever had gave me some kind of, you know what I'm saying? You can relate. If you've ever had a job, it could have been a person, it could have been a boss, it could have been, the product or the service itself, something was sketchy about it. Legal businesses out here running like this, you know what I'm saying? So this, so I ain't about to just completely raise hell, right? He's like, fucking delete that number right now. I'm like, why would I do that? He's like, did they not tell you what's going on, bro? I'm like, man, bro, what the fuck? No. He's like, bro, fucking, he pulls the fucking car over, hops out, pops the back passenger door open, pops one of the boxes open, like, so starts showing me the speakers and stuff, right? And the packaging was beautiful, inside, because I've actually never even opened one of the boxes. It's like they threw me in the fire so quick, shit was moving so fast, I didn't even really have the opportunity to be like, yo, can I like hear the product so I know, like, bro, you doing too much, bro, you ain't trying to, bro, we're just trying to get these joints off type shit. I'm like, oh, okay, right? The speakers was fake as hell, man. Speakers was fake as hell, and not that they were fake, they were actually speakers. They're just way lower quality than they act like it is, right? And they pursue. It's a straight game of fucking delusion and scammery and trickery, right? So he shows me, he's like, yeah, you can't even pick up the subwoofer, you know what I'm saying? There was one HDMI cord in there, like it was no fucking like copper wire, no like sound wire for it. Of course they say it's wireless, right? But come on, bro. Like, ain't no power wire. It's one HDMI cord and there's 6 separate speakers, but it's all wireless. But there's no fucking power. Like, how are these things getting power? There was no driver in the box. If you know anything about sound, you know that you have speakers and you have something that has to drive the speakers. In a car, it's called a head unit. In a home theater system, it's called a driver. There's no driver. Like, so, we were framing it as if this was a complete set that you're going to be able to go home and hook up this home theater. And in actuality, that shit was a fucking scam, man. He showed me all of this stuff in this box, and I just really want to apologize to the gentleman that I sold the equipment to. If you reach out to me, I will direct you to who you need to talk to, whatever you need to do, because it's unfortunate, bro. It's unfortunate. I don't want nothing to do with that and it's sad because I'm in a place where I need money right now. I've been out of work for a while. I was in tech as an account executive for a while. I fell out with the leadership because his product was bogus. It halfway did what it said, halfway didn't. Of course, it was a startup. They were all trying to figure it out. I don't know where his intentions lie with that. I was poached from that company, practically. And I got a director level role at a writing company, medical writing company. AI came out, and it was an election year. Trump and Kamala. It made things very, very difficult. Me, COO, and 20 PhD medical writers all got laid off at one time. And since then, I've been able to find like little bogus jobs and stuff, detailing cars. And I don't think detailing cars is bogus, by the way. Like, there's guys out there making good money detailing cars. And you're not robbing niggas and selling them crack cocaine or hurting people. So like, I'm not mad at you at all. Like, keep detailing them cars. But down here in Florida, you driving around from place to place in traffic for an hour, for 50 minutes. Don't let it be a company that got shitty vans, you know what I'm saying, with bad tires, bad brakes, no air conditioner, no radio. It's like it starts getting real difficult, like fuck the detail. I could get into a car accident out here. So I stopped doing that. I cut hair a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So shit, every now and again I'll pull the clippers out for them. What else? Man, and I was just glad to finally be back on like a W-2 payroll, you know, selling something legitimate. You know, the guys around me, they was making $2,000-$3,000 a week selling this false shit. Selling false products, y'all. Scamming niggas. So after I do the more due diligence, I found out that this thing is called the white van scam. The white van scam. And you can look it up on YouTube. It's a very common scam. It's a 60, 70-year-old scam. Yet and still, I've never heard of it. And yet and still, many people still haven't heard of it. People are making bread, hand over fist, selling this shit. If anybody pulls up to you at a gas station, at a fucking Home Depot, at a Walmart, talking about something, they got extras from they whatever, that is a fucking scam. And it sucks because it sucks for the street vendors. There's a lot of people out here selling legitimate shit from the trunk of their car. Remember, we used to sell CDs out of our car if you made music, or, you know, the people outside the flea market selling, you know, colognes. And yeah, they might be a little bit of off-brand colognes or whatever, but people gotta fucking eat out here. Some people can't even get a job for whatever reasons they can't get a job. We ain't gonna get into all of that. You know, there's legitimate people selling legitimate products, but don't have a storefront. And people like this make it real tough for the world to be a trusting place. You know, when you selling snake oil, when you selling straight box of rocks, right? Some of these people put cement in the speakers so it feels heavy, and you naturally relate the weight to quality, right? So I tried to come back the next day after all of this stuff happened, and I tried to like pitch 2-3 people, and I can't look somebody in the eye knowing my intentions are to scam them and do it. I stopped. I looked at the guy I was with. I was with him on the first day, and I stopped and I was like, bro, I can't do this shit, bro. I can't. He was like, wow, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I can't. I'm not a scammer, dog. I can't scam. I got a soul, bro. I believe in karma. I believe in God. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying everybody's sin different. This is the way they decided to sin. You know, I've repent for a lot of my shit. My soul is light as a feather, guys. I'm good. I'm super good. Me and God, we done worked out all my shit. Not all of it, but so much more, and I'm working on it every single day. And I'm just not allowed. I'm a chosen one, and no disrespect to, you know, I don't mean like I ain't trying to act like I'm like better than other people, whatever, but I can't. I will be locked up. I will be caught up into some bogus shit. Now, I'm from the DMV area. Stupid dummy. You. I'm just playing. Don't go doing that shit over there, bro. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. That shit will not end well for you, I promise you. Do not go to a place like Virginia or Maryland or Washington, D.C., specifically like Baltimore, and think that you gonna be fooling multiple niggas for $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900, bro. These niggas will find you and they will hurt you. And if they can't get to you, they gonna get to somebody they love, bro. So, you know, them boys out there getting their money, like, I can't hate on you. That's what I told them as we was heading back. Like, cause I had a 2-hour drive back with this dude. He was quiet as hell. And at first I felt like the bitch. I felt like, damn, I can't get no money out here, dog. Cause everything's a scam. Everything's a fucking scam, bro. How I'm gonna get some money? How I'm gonna touch some bread out here? If everybody fucking robbing everybody. And I'm not a thief. So I started feeling like a little punk, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not the fucking punk. This nigga is. Y'all is. Y'all the bitches, bro. It's not me. Because I won't walk out in the street and look somebody dead in their motherfucking face and steal their motherfucking money. That shit ain't not cool. That's not thug. You got karma coming your way, these boys. A lot of them already getting it. One of the guys that was training me, he's all over YouTube. People pulling up to him at the gym and shit, man. I'm so sorry for these boys. As somebody that looks at things from a spiritual lens, I just wonder what happened to y'all in y'all life that makes y'all believe that this is acceptable. That's why you carrying, not to say that you shouldn't be strapped, but that's why you really got to worry about having to up that shit for real, because you done fucked over so many people in a truck that you drive home and drive to and from the, bro, this scam has been on the news. The right person gonna watch you doing what you're doing, is gonna follow you somewhere, bro. It's gonna be worth it to them. Mark my words. Stop this while you can. The guy who finally put me on to the scam, he was bummed too. He was working at a particular mail service provider, I won't say, for like 8 months, and unfortunately they had to part ways. And he's a husband with a child. He has a family to take care of. I said, why are you doing it? I could tell it was eating him up. I'm like, why are you doing this shit, man? He's like, I got a fucking family, bro. He's like, man, the worst sale I had was a dad with a daughter on her deathbed. And I guess she was some kind of musician or something. He was saying, like, she likes music, and he was buying the speakers for her to enjoy while she was on her deathbed. I was so fucking repulsed. I was immediately, there's levels to fuckery. There's levels to it. But that was, I don't know how. He was like, bro, he took his hat off and he lowered his head. He started choking up and tearing. I can tell he cares. I was like, man, leave. He's only been there for 30 days. I'm like, why are you still here? He's like, man, I gotta find a job. I got a wife and a kid. I can't not do this. Which ultimately leads to, I guess, a grander point where we're in Scam-America. I've been in sales and marketing for a long time. And every time I get the back end of the information, like how they're able to source the parts, or, the delusion and the trickery behind the marketing, or whatever it might be. It could be the sales process, whatever it is, man. It's always some fucking bullshit. The hospitals, it could be the hospitals. Healthcare. Big pharma, oil. We had a 2-hour drive back to the warehouse to the base, and when we got out, well, even before we got there, I was like, man, I'm not mad at you, bro. Like, I'm not judging you, because I could tell he was sitting there. He was the quietest I've ever seen him, bro. He was quiet as fuck. He had his head down. He got his hat over his face. He trying to act like he's asleep. Because he was, it's funny too, because as we was in the car, I could feel the energy. At first he was laughing at me. He was laughing at me. By the end of the ride, he couldn't even look me in the eyes, bro. Because I started to really having a heart-to-heart with. After I got out of my, like, damn, I feel like a bitch, I was like, no, hold on. I'm like, bro, have you ever even heard these speakers hooked up? No, man, he's talking real low. I'm like, he says, like, the sound bar. I'm like, so what about, like, what does this need to work? Pointing to the speakers in the back. I'm like, what? It needs a driver, and what else? He can't even really tell me. He was like, man, they're not buying speakers, man. They're buying the show. I just wanted to, like, bro, listen to yourself, man. These niggas got you in a cult. They not buying no fucking show. You think when they get to the house and they go to plug up them fucking speakers for your dying daughter, that he was like, ta-da! I know you weren't able to be there, but it was a real fun experience buying these fake-ass speakers. No, dude, you ripping motherfuckers off. And to those boys who might or might not ever see this video, man, I really pray for you, bro. There's no hate on this way, but I pray for all you, from the big man up to the newest dude who just replied to your fucking ad, dude, which was on Craigslist. You using real people faces to commit fraud, and they may have to deal with the consequences. That guy called my phone back saying that his friends want more projectors. Do you think it's because they actually want to project projectors, or because they wanted to do me harm because they thought it was me that scammed them? Because technically it was. Unknowingly, I'm a unbeknownst scammer. We're not talking about selling weed to somebody who want to smoke weed, or even selling something harder to somebody who want to smoke something harder. We're talking about somebody who thinks they're getting something and getting something not it. Not even something else. Something this big compared to what they thought was going to be fucking this big. So I'm going to shut this video down. It's going on 20 minutes. I think that's enough. But I will say this. I had to donate blood today. I ain't donated blood in a decade and a half, and it wasn't because I needed money. It was because I was just helping somebody out, helping people out, and just wanted to donate the blood. I'm not a fan of needles. I don't like that shit. But I'd rather donate blood than struggle with housing and figure life out than be a thief-ass fuck nigga. Thief-ass, scam-ass, trick nigga-ass fuckboy. I'd rather not do that. And I think they always knew. When I walked in that place, I was sniffing the whole time, and I never got too cool. They had this crazy culture demeanor. They just, oh, we only high five up here, man. Yeah, they all had these fake ass personas on, and I was just seeing all the fakery. I'm like, nobody wants to do this in here. To the one guy in there who's got a conscience, I'm praying for you. I hope nothing comes ill your way. I hope you find a job immediately and you can get away from those motherfuckers. Watch out for the scams as the economy continues to worsen, as jobs get harder to find, as mass layoffs increase, as tariffs are put into a place and they're this way and that way, as all this stuff is transpiring, watch for the scams to increase. Because people are looking for deals and people are looking to give you a deal, and you're going to be the one who get a deal and it ain't going to be what the fuck you think it is, alright? So, alright, that's me. I'm signing out this thing, man. Y'all hold it down, brother.